let's see. Yeah, this is a follow-up to the video I posted in September of 2022. I'm doing this because I said I would in that video. I had posted a video about my ulnar nerve condition, my cubitaltunnel syndrome. I had surgery, and I wanted people to have a sense of like how things progressed, and I want that for myself too. So starting out with, I'll start with my overall assessment. Yeah, once again, I'm reading off of notes here, so kind of bear with me there. Things are a lot better than they were when they were at their worst. But I wouldn't say I've had a full recovery. Things have definitely not gone completely back to normal. I do think the surgery was worth it. I also wonder if I would have had but even better results if I had had the surgery done basically ASAP. Like as soon as I got the initial recommendation to get it done, if I just rushed to get it done, would it have been better? Because I did put it off for quite a while because I was struggling with accepting it. Let's see, I still have not had surgery done to the left arm. The overall, or the main reason for that is that it just isn't that bad yet. That coupled with the fact that based on what my the surgeon who did surgery on my right, what he told me is that it's really not a preventative measure. Yeah, at this point I'm just not entirely sure that it would be worth the downside to surgery, which is just, having to go through a long recovery period. And the recovery it's long. It's for the right arm it was long, and I expect it to be long for the left if I get that done there. I did learn something else from my surgeon after having posted that first video, and that's that I might be a bit unique. I apparently have an anatomical anomaly. Some of my tricep tissue or fibers, whatever they be called, he found that they were occupying that same space as my ulnar nerve. Basically they're going through the cubital tunnel there, which I guess isn't normal. He said that was likely to be a contributing factor to why I got this, or that I ended up having this problem as early in life as I did. So that might be relevant to anybody else who's following my advice. So now the left and right arms, I would say, both seem to be about equally bad overall. The right is still worse in some ways at times, but yeah, from an overall, quality of life standpoint, I would say that they irritate me about the same amount. I've gotten back to being much more active on the computer again. I'm generally productive at work and have been for a while now. It doesn't seem to be coming back this time, though it does still get irritated, and I have to be careful, and I have to take breaks and all that good stuff. I would say I'm not able to get back to the levels of productivity that I used to be able to achieve before any of this ever started. I'm also back to my recreational computer use, so gaming in particular, and same thing there. So I'm not able to reach the same levels of achievement in games that I used to, for what that's all worth. There's some other changes that I've made that I think are relevant. This actually kind of goes into why I haven't done surgery on the left. I'm not sure how much of an effect these have had in my improvement versus the surgery. It's probably impossible to know that. But I'm exclusively now using an expensive ergonomic keyboard. For a while there, I was using an ergonomic mouse, but I've gone back to a normal gaming mouse. I've gone back to using ADHD medication. I was prescribed that when I was pretty young, and stopped taking it. I guess the idea with going back on it is that I won't get so engrossed in my computer use that I don't notice problems I've started, and I'll stop aggravating the situation sooner. I've gotten pretty good about avoiding bending my elbows throughout just in general. That seems to be pretty important. Bending my elbows too much seems to cause symptoms to come back, even to this day. And yet, I guess I'll say I need to make sure that I do make a point to truly, fully, bend them all the way and make sure that they don't get excessively stiff and that I'm not losing, range of motion, that sort of thing. I would say that in general, beyond the bending of the elbows, the experience has conditioned me to be better about paying attention to the symptoms and responding to them. So, I consider that an important change to be aware of. I found some specific stretches that I didn't find anywhere else online. When I went through all the physical therapy that I did, I was never able to, I never really felt particularly confident that any of it had made any positive effect. There were definitely things that would actually cause me some agony. I learned to avoid certain moves, so to speak. But these specific stretches, and I'll try to explain it later, I think have definitely been helpful. I get immediate relief, which and nothing else had ever given me any really immediate relief before I found these. I still have to be careful about how I essentially handle my arms. I basically never lean on anything or put my weight onto, I guess that's the ulnar edge of my forearm. Basically anywhere from here down, this whole area is just, I treat it like it's fragile. I've come to know that if I do put pressure on it, it's likely that I will start to get symptoms. I avoid sitting in chairs with armrests. I still need to sleep in what I would say are probably relatively odd positions. I have to keep my elbows straight again while I sleep. I have to lay my arms in positions that they won't be resting on that part of the arm all night. Sometimes that means laying on my chest. And then the last thing is, I thought I would try to explain the stretch that I'm doing, if it would be of any benefit to anybody else. I will prefix this by saying, be careful with these. I mean, everybody on YouTube that's like a physical therapist says that same thing, if you start to feel the symptoms, stop right away. I would wholeheartedly agree with that. But it goes like this. I'll take my arm, and I do this on both sides. I get relief on both sides with this. and I'll rotate it like this, and then I tense everything up basically from the elbow down, and while it's tensed I'll bend it like that, and it feels sore in here when I do that, and it feels like I'm like kind of working a soreness out. Like as I bend it a bunch of times, it gets less and less sore. Sometimes that will cause me to get a little bit of numbness here in the hand where I've always gotten it, but generally I get overall kind of immediate relief. Other than that, actually I think that's everything. Yeah, that's everything on my notes, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording here.